Good morning and welcome to this weekly market update from MRC Markets. Today is the 30th of May 2012. What we'll be doing today is going through the Euro dollar, cable, dollar yen, dollar Swiss, Aussie dollar and the gold charts to try and give some sort of technical analysis, aiming to give some sort of weekly outlook, but we do look at the long term charts, but I'll also have a look at some sort of shorter term charts, maybe the 4 hour, 1 hour, to see which kind of be looking out for into the rest of the week. We won't be making any trade calls or recommendations. You trade at your own risk. Please read our full disclaimer on the website www.mrcmarkets.com. For any new followers, we have basically 3 moving averages in each of these charts. The red one is 55 simple, the purple is 100 simple, and the gold is a 200 simple moving average. Okay, let's have a look at Euro dollar then. What have we got on Euro dollar? This is the weekly chart here. Looking very, very bearish now. We were talking about this, the recent fib move. As you can see here, this is pretty much broken down now. We're now broken now below the 78.6 level, so we're targeting the 88.6 fib level, which stands at one spot 22.25. But yeah, Euro's looking very, very heavy now, especially on this weekly chart. 1, 2, 3, the last 4 weeks have all been bearish candles, and quite big bearish candles as well. Pretty much, I mean, in 4 weeks we've gone from 132 all the way down to 124 now. So we're talking about sort of 800 pips in around 4 weeks, which is a pretty big sell-off. And there's a lot of people trying to pick these tops and bottoms and are getting caught out significantly. Big support that a lot of people were talking about was around the sort of 126.30 level. You can see 2 areas here where we've had this support. One is that clear one there, and also if you look to the left of your chart, you can see the other sort of area where a lot of buyers came in at this level, but you can now see this that level has been truly broken now, and the next support that everyone is talking about is this 119.30 level, which was the 2010 low. So that's the level we're now looking at in terms of the weekly chart for any sort of bounce. What's going to happen at that level? Are we going to get the low of the year at that level, or are we just purely going to slice through it like butter, like we have the previous supports, and go through that level? But no, that will definitely be an interesting level to look at on the weekly, but that's all I'm really focused on in terms of that weekly chart. Okay, let's have a little flick to the daily, and what do we see? Not a lot really, just apart from pure sell-off after pure sell-off. Miles away in terms of the moving averages there on daily. In terms of the 4 hour, we have a sort of downwards trend line there. So if we do get any bounce up, then you'll be looking for some sort of bounce off that trend line. A lot of sellers will be coming in at that level, and that also coincides with the 55 bar moving average on that 4 hour chart as well. So that's an interesting level to look out for. In fact, there'll probably be quite a good channel there actually. Instead of just a trend line, let's use a channel here, because you can see a lot of buyers have also come in at that level as well for some sort of support. If we draw it from there to there, and then you can just adjust the bottom bit here and bring it to the lows, and that's what you got. So you've got some sort of equidistant channel going on here on the Euro dollar, but I mean, yes, it has been slightly supported at those levels, but at the end of the day, it's a very steep downwards channel, so a lot of people will be looking to sell it at the top of the channel there. But that's all I'm kind of really focused on, really, in terms of Euros, at that big support on the weekly, and this downwards channel on the 4 hour for any sort of selling opportunities. Okay, let's have a look at cable. What do we have on cable? In terms of the weekly, spoken about it a bazillion times, it's all about this big sort of trendline support comes in around there, and we're getting near this level now. We spoke about it, I think we spoke about it last week, that cable's looking for some sort of retracement, and if it, I mean, it's been selling off quite hard this sort of last few weeks really. and it looks like it wants to come down and test that trend line support, and that's what it's looking like it's doing now. So in terms of the fib, I mean, this is the recent fib move that a lot of people are looking at, but you've got to remember the longer term charts are always more stronger. So in terms of any sort of confidence zone, in terms of the fib, nothing really of much interest. I mean, we're now broken below this 50% level. That was the key support lot, but we had some sort of nice reversal candle there, but we got sold off at that level, and also we had another bounce off this 61.8. We've also got sold off. That was a nice little support level as well that a lot of people were talking about. You can see around here to the left is a previous support zone as well, so some sort of confidence area there. But you can see we've just gone through that like butter as well. So I'm not really too interested in terms of that fib. It's all about this trend line support really, to see if we get any sort of longer term players coming in at that level. In terms of moving averages, nothing really of too interest as well. It's pretty much for me all about that trend line support, and see if that gets tested this week. Looks like it will do. Okay, in terms of dollar yen, what do we have? We've spoken about this a few times now. This the recent fib on the daily chart. It didn't react too well to the 50%. We're now kind of breaking down below the 61.8. So it's all about this 200-day moving average in terms of any sort of support. That's the only sort of real support of interest that I'm interested in, unless we get some sort of daily reversal off this 61.8 today. In terms of sort of selling opportunities, if you want to sell this pair, we're in a nice sort of a downward trend here on the daily. You can see we've had sellers coming in at this level multiple times, and recently as well. We see, I mean, these are quite sort of reversal candles there, but you can see the upper wicks. We failed to have some sort of upper candlestick body close above this trend line resistance, and we've just sold off and sold off. So the best thing to do would probably play this pair is maybe if you want to bounce off the 200-day moving average, then most people will be selling at this trend line resistance, but we're only going to get some momentum towards the upside if we get a clear close above this trend line resistance. Okay, let's have a look at dollar Swiss. What do we have? Dollar Swiss is very, very bullish at the minute, especially on this daily. I mean, we have this uptrend here, which is a long way away from it now. The new trend that is in focus. So it's just neaten up a bit. The new trend that's in focus is this very steep upward trend here. Solid trend line support there, and also it coincides with 55 bar moving average on the 4 hour as well. So if you're looking for any sort of dip buying opportunities, then it's all about this trend line support for me really. If we're going to get any sell off in this pair, then it needs to break this trend line support. But yeah, in terms of dollar Swiss, it's all about that upwards trend line on the 4 hour. Very, very nice, nice trend line indeed. I mean, in terms of fibs, people would have been looking at this fib, but it didn't come down to 50%, so it wasn't of interest to me. Most probably that was off the 38.2, so but it still played out quite nicely. In terms of sort of fib extensions, we're looking at this 123.6 up here, which is 0.9667 for any sort of sell-off. See if the buyers do come to a halt, because you've got to remember this is a very steep upward trend here, so the odds are for some sort of retracement going into these next sort of few days. So any sort of reversal pattern could be a good sort of selling opportunity. Okay, let's have a look at Aussie dollar. What do we have on Aussie dollar? Very, very steep sell-off on Aussie dollar. Very risk-related currency pair. So with all the stuff going on in the Eurozone at the minute, this pair's just been selling off and selling off. But we do have a nice sort of fib opportunity there. If any of you are looking to buy this pair, flip it to the 4 hour. You can see it's trying to bottom out there. We're getting some sort of lower wicks coming on there. Interesting close today will be this 61.8. What happens with this current 4 hour candle on the 61.8? If we get a nice hammer close above that, then a lot of people will most probably be buying. I mean, we have had a very steep sell-off, so the odds are some sort of pullback here. We've had a little pullback, but not a significant pullback in my opinion. So if we get some sort of reversal, then a lot of people will be looking to buy this pair. If you're looking on the 1 hour, you see the current 1 hour candle starting to reverse quite nicely here, also off of previous support as well. If you look to the left of the chart there, with a nice support level there. So you see a nice reversal candle there previously, so looking like it's trying to do the same thing at the minute. So yeah, Aussie was looking quite interesting in terms of that recent fib setup there. Okay, let's have a look at gold. What do we have on gold? We were speaking out for a long time as trendline support, which did get broken down, so that's now out of play. The only real thing of interest to me is this good support zone around here, at that 1565 level. Big support level there. Also coincides with those spike highs there on the left. And all the uncertainty around the Eurozone at the minute, a lot of people still think it is a safe haven, so it's still technically a good buying opportunity. Obviously it's still at quite high prices, but there is a lot of room for the upside here, and you can see these reversal candlestick wicks here. Very, very strong reversals indeed, and this is on the weekly as well. So you can see we pretty much had 2 consecutive hammers there. Bear me 2 seconds. And you can start again. There we go. You can see once there, twice, 3 times. We're now around this level. Are we going to get some sort of bounce? I mean, the previous 2 weekly candles have been very, very reversal. They've been big reversals indeed. So I would expect this week the bias is still towards the upside for me in terms of gold. But if we get any big sell-off continue out this week, then we will get some dollar strength. So that's the kind of battle really. But you can see last 2 weeks we had a big sell-off in the Eurozone, in the euro dollar, was selling off quite a bit. But gold was still bottoming here, and we still had a bullish week there. So gold is the one sort of thing, as it's been measured in dollars, which is kind of hanging in there. Is not getting pounded too much by the dollar. So very, very interesting chart, that gold chart. And we also have this 100-week moving average here below as well. So that's very, very key for me as well. But yeah, in terms of gold, I've still got a very bias, but the bias is towards the upside on gold. Okay, that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this technical analysis and some sort of review. Hope you have a great week trading. I'll catch you next week. Take care.